So I'm doing the home inspection down in Los Angeles today. It's Wednesday, June 12th, and it's down in the West Adams area. And they've added a new roof on. They didn't put in new flashings. You can see they used mastic. All this tar here. We like to see a metal flashing here, which they don't have. And this thing's there's a big hump here for maybe they should lay flat. Today they're doing the sewer inspection, so they had to go through the top vent here. And this vent here is missing it's an old vent, but it's missing a cap on it. And so you got that. They use a weave here in the valley, and what happens a lot of times, water will get down inside the weave. So we like to use a metal flashing on valleys here. So this is not done properly. There's no gutter system on the house. Now this other valley here, there is an older metal valley, but it's the asphalt shingles were cut too close, so it'll dam up here. Water has to flow down through here. You see they have debris and all, and it's going to dam it up. Then water then will go back inside the roof system itself. So again, it's an unfinished job. And they paid top money for this great roof here. And kidding aside, again on the left side of the house, there's missing flashing on the penetrations, or the plumbing penetrations going up. And then the main electrical panel, the wires feeding the house, they're rated about 8 gauge, so they're not rated for 100 amps, and you have a 100 amp service. And then you got this old vent here that's open, and so that needs to be closed, removed. It may have been the old furnace or water heating in this area here. I'm going to swing the camera to the back. They have an older pool here, and they've painted the interior of it. The plaster is cracked and deteriorated. It needs a new plaster job. There's no gutters on the house. And you can see the concrete patio. There's holes, cracks, trip hazards, and no fence around the pool. They put a newer water heater in the rear of the house, and the vent pipe, it should be we call it type B double wall, and this one is a single wall vent pipe. So again, the roof over the garage looks older. You can see missing shingles, damaged shingles, and on the rear roof it's a low slope roof with a cap sheet buildup, and we'll look at that next. Okay, so I'm over the garage and the roof over the garage. The front part and the sides, they use asphalt shingles, and then on the west side, which you cannot see, they use a roll cap sheet type of roofing. Now the roll cap sheet typically has a 12 to 15 year life expectancy on it, serviceable life. And you can see down here in this area here, you're down to the cap sheet here. So this is the rocks are just coming right off of here. So this, at least on this side of the roof, needs to be replaced. And then it looks like they just recently put a 90-pound cap sheet on the back here, and the roofer left some of the stuff up here. No idea what. And the very back of the roof has a uplift here, and that will hold water, and you can actually see in the recent rains the pile of granular rock is collecting here, so it's not flowing off the roof, even though they just put this thing on, or recently put it on. So again, looking back towards the house, you can see shingles on one side, and they're old and deteriorating areas. And then the back side, or the west side of the roof, you have the cap sheet. And another view of the pool here, and the plumbing guy was just here. And the plumbing sewer lines from the back house are connected to your yard drains, and then they tie into the main sewer line. So we like to keep our yard drains separate from the sewer line, and the yard drain should empty out to the front curb instead of be carrying rainwater. And so you got some sewer issues here as well. Again, this is Greg Noyes, Pacific West Home Inspections, and I can be reached at 818-362-5578 or on the web www.ehomeinspector.com. You know, some days we come across some really This is Greg Noyes of Pacific West Home Inspections. To shut off the power, it's this your main panel is at the very rear of the house, the front house. And they have service disconnect. So this breaker here, you bring on over, it shuts off the power. It's 100 amp service, so plenty big enough for the what you have here. And on the I want to walk up to the front of the house, and I'll show you how to do the gas and the water. The gas meter is actually under the house, and so we'll get a, and then and there's no seismic gas shutoff valve here. So this is the gas meter, and to manually shut it off, there's a valve here at the front of the house. This tang here, you need to get a wrench and you turn it sideways, and then I'll shut that off. And the last thing we'll cover is the water. When I got here today, I looked for a main water line here, which I couldn't find. So let's look around again. You'll have to turn off the water down at the street in the main utility meter box. This is at the curb, and you'll need what we call a T valve that fits down in there, and the valve's over in this area here. So anyway, this is Greg Noyes, Pacific West Home Inspections, and I can be reached at 818-362-5578 or on the web www.ehomeinspector.com. And thanks again for using my services.